Hey guys, and welcome to another weekly wrap-up. You know the deal by now. Do I really have to tell you what we're doing? I don't think so. I'm just going to start off by telling you that on Monday, I wrote a post talking all about my sort of history and feelings towards unhauling. I know there have been a lot of videos on BookTube lately of people being like, these are all of the books I'm getting rid of because of X, Y, and Z. And I did comb through my shelves and get rid of some books recently, and I wanted to talk about why that was when I, in general, don't really want to give away my books. I like keeping them on my shelves. So if you want to know what made me get rid of books, go read that post.
On Monday, I did Surprise, a From the Notebook video, and it's probably my longest one to date, but it was really, really important to me, and it was a discussion post titled, Where is the YA for Boys?, talking about my experience trying to read books along with my younger brother, and how that's really hard because YA doesn't have a lot of books for guys. So please watch that post and talk to me about it because I'm super duper passionate about it, so love me.
On Tuesday, Gretchen and I had another joint review, and this time we were reading one of my picks, which is actually one that's going around BookTube a lot right now, which is The Grace Keepers. Now, we did not love it as much as the entire YouTube community seems to have. Gretchen, in fact, didn't like it very much at all. I was pretty okay with it. It was an enjoyable experience, and I think that some of the things it tried to do, it did well, but we both agree that there were definitely problems with some of the other things it tried to do. If you would like to hear more about that, you should go watch that video. It will be linked up above in the eye.
On Wednesday, I had a Worth It Wednesday post. I was about to say very sarcastically, surprise, but it's actually been 2 weeks since I've done a Worth It Wednesday, so that's actually impressive. This week I chose Insignia by S.J. Kincaid because it was one of the books that I mentioned in that From the Notebook post about the books that I read with my brother. And so yeah, I wanted to feature that one and say, hey, here's a book that is a male protagonist and is YA and is really, really fun and I really did love a lot. So yeah, check that post out to see more of my feelings on that.
My Wednesday post, because Wednesday is comic book day. I'm not talking about a comic book. I'm talking about a comic book movie. I reviewed the Deadpool movie. I got to see that on release day, and it was so good. I even got swag. You're totally not able to see it, but there's a tiny Deadpool sitting on one of my books over there. So happy. Spoiler, I loved it. It's so good. Also, spoiler, do not bring your children to this movie. This is an R-rated movie. Hard R. Do not bring the kids. I had to explain to one of my parents' friends why they shouldn't bring their 9-year-old to see this movie because it's a superhero movie. But this is a superhero movie for adults, and I talk about why that's so important in that post. So go and check that out.
On Thursday, I had a Thesis Thursday post. Again, surprise, so original. I've actually been doing pretty well with keeping up on these too, although my last couple of posts were just like, I have thoughts and feelings and I'm confused and I'm lost. So for this week, I sat down and listed, in case you're interested, some of the sources that I found for this, because there's like a TED Talk that's really interesting, some really interesting books. So if it's anything that you are curious about, I'm going to share that with you so I also look like less of a flaily idiot and someone who's actually doing some academic work.
Because this video is pre-filmed, the theory is that I have a book haul video on Friday. I am, however, waiting for one more book to arrive, so that might be a book post written out because I don't need to have the physical book to do it that way. Either way, it's a haul. I talk about the books that I've gotten recently because I got a job at Barnes & Noble and I get percentages off for working there. Also, Book Depository is beautiful. So, yeah, there's that. I bought books even though we weren't supposed to, and I don't have that much money. I'm poor and yet I bought books. But it will, if it's a video, it will be in the eye up above. If it's a post, it'll be linked down below. That's how it works here. There you go.
My Friday post is definite because I taped this last week. My post on Friday is a video review of something very out of character for me, which is a memoir called Choosing My Religion by Stephen J. Dubner. I just realized I should have grabbed that book to show it to you, but whatever. You may recognize it from my school book haul. And it's a memoir about a man who is born into a very Christian family and then finds out after he grows up that his parents actually were both Jewish first and converted. And it's his story kind of backwards to see why they converted from Judaism to Christianity as he converts from Christianity to Judaism. It's not a shining review. I talk a lot about why the structure of the book made it really funky and why it wasn't as deep of a conversation as I wanted. But it is my first review under 10 minutes, so I'm super excited about that. Getting better every day.
You have made it to the portion of this video where we talk about the books that we finished this week. I have only finished one. I'm pretty sure Gretchen has only finished one. We have lives outside of reading sometimes, but it makes my heart hurt that I'm not reading more. Like I said a second ago, I just got that job and I'm working all the time and I need to figure out how to not be tired and fall asleep right away at night and get back to reading a little bit at night all the time. The one book I did read was Lions by Bonnie Natsam. Unfortunately, that book doesn't come out until July, so you're not going to see my review of it for a very long time. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I did order her first book, which had a lot of praise for it, because it's called Lamb, and there's no way that lions and lamb are not somehow related, even though they're both novels. You don't name things like that unless you're meant to, like, compare them in some way. And if not, that's terrible, and I'm going to talk about that at some point, too. So, that's going to happen.
Finally bringing Michaela to my level. I did also only read one book this week, and it wasn't even for school. It was, shocker, shocker, The Grace Keepers by Kirsty Logan, because I am that person who reads the book, like, directly the second before we do the review. And it was actually also a week behind because we were supposed to do that review last week. But we didn't because, hi guys! I have a shitty life that is very, very busy. So yeah, that's all that I have. I'm in the middle of a bunch of books right now for school, but like they're not done, so I'm not going to say that I read them until I actually finish them, if I finish them, because you know how school reading goes sometimes. But anyways, hopefully I'll have a more significant number of books next time, but we will see how that goes. Thanks for watching, guys. We hope that you've seen something that you're interested in watching. Maybe you've watched it all. I have to figure out a different line for saying that if you have read and watched it all, you're our favorite person, because literally, you are. I don't know how to say that and make it sound less corny, but Michaela just said you get a cookie. I don't know how, but yes, I do. If you want that cookie, enter the giveaway that is still going on. It is ending very soon, so get in all of your entries for that while you can. There's 3 books in there that you could potentially win, so do the thing. This is how we can reward you for being so awesome. Thanks for being awesome, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye!